To really dig deep into what you want to achieve for yourself, what is ultimately going to make you happy, and use that as the basis to set the goals for yourself and not what other people want you to do or want you to achieve. This is really, really important. Hey everyone, this is Bola Shokumbi. I'm the founder and CEO of Clever Girl Finance, and welcome to Clever Girl Finance TV. So today I want to talk about the 10 key money moves that you want to consider making as we step into a new year. 2020 has been an incredibly difficult year for all of us, and like you, I am so ready to move into a new year, to start a fresh slate, and to just basically carry on with life since so much of it was put on hold in 2020. However, as we step into a new year, it's all about setting intention and creating plans so that we can actually succeed with achieving our goals. I do want to mention, however, that when it comes to making money moves, you can make these moves at any time. They're not strictly tied to a new year, but they're just something about stepping into a brand new year that makes people motivated and excited, and also makes it the perfect time to set new money moves. And so we're going to get into 10 key money moves that you should consider making or refreshing as we step into the new year. Let's get into them. So money move number one is to set and review your financial goals. And this is really important because when it comes to achieving financial wellness, you have to have goals associated to the things that you want to accomplish. And when it comes to setting goals, you want them to be specific, you want them to be measurable, and you want them to have a timeline assigned. So let's say you want to save $10,000 or $20,000 in the next year. You want to say by which date and how much you're going to be putting aside every time you get paid in order to reach that $10,000 goal. So it's really important that you set your goals. And when it comes to setting your goals, it's not about what people want for you to accomplish. It's about what you want to accomplish for yourself. So really dig deep into, what you want to achieve for yourself, what is ultimately going to make you happy, and use that as the basis to set the goals for yourself and not what other people want you to do or want you to achieve. This is really, really important, especially when it comes to staying motivated as you go on the journey to achieving those goals. Listen, when it comes to working on your goals, sometimes it gets really hard. The euphoria of setting a goal has worn off. You're now in the motions. Things are setting you back and just, tripping you up. And you have to dig deep. You have to be able to reflect on the reason why you want to achieve that goal for yourself. And that's what's going to compel you to keep moving forward. Many times when people set goals because other people want them to accomplish something, when things get difficult, they're not as inclined, they're not as motivated to go out and achieve that goal. So remember, as you set your goals, you want to make sure that you're setting them for you. Money move number two, prepare for taxes. And so in the US, the deadline for tax filing each year isn't until April. However, so many people wait until this deadline that it becomes a mad rush to find documentation, to find the accountant you want to use, and it's just a crazy experience for many people. And so if you found yourself in this space in the past, this is a great time as we step into the new year to start getting prepared for taxes. So determining all the documentation you're going to need, and knowing that if you've had a major life change that your taxes may change as well is important to make note of. So for example, let's say you got married, you had a baby, or you got divorced, or you even started a business. This is all documentation that you want to have put aside for when it comes time to file your taxes. And this is also a great time to find the right tax professional or accountant that you can ask questions or that can help you as you go about filing your taxes. So money move number two is to make sure that you're prepared for tax season. Money move number three, boost your emergency savings. So if 2020 has taught us anything, it's that cash is queen. There has been so much economic uncertainty, increased job losses, people worried about job security, that it's really, really important that we have money put aside, right? This pandemic has opened many, many, many people's eyes to many things, especially when it comes to personal finances. And so when it comes to just being prepared to weather a storm, it's important that you have emergency savings put aside. So prior to the pandemic, the traditional advice was that you should have 3 to 6 months of savings put aside because this is typically enough to help you weather a storm, especially if it's tied to a job loss. But given that there is so much uncertainty with everything going on right now, it's a good idea to try to have more. So 9 to 12 months is a good idea. And I know you may be watching this and being like, oh my God, is this woman crazy? She's asking me to save 9 to 12 months. But I want you to just give it a chance and hear me through. And by 9 to 12 months, I mean putting aside your core essentials. This is what you need to survive, what you need to live, and not the other nice to have, the splurges that you may typically have in your budget. And so when we're talking about core essentials, we're talking about housing, being able to pay for your housing, being able to pay for food, being able to pay for transportation, medicines, and your core utilities. And you'll find that when you take that amount out of your budget and you take out all the other nice to haves, non-essential items, that number may seem more attainable. So how do you save this 9 to 12 months that I'm talking about, right? It's all about building this amount into your budget. So if you are fortunate enough to be employed right now, it's designating a specific amount of money from every paycheck that will go towards emergency savings every time you get paid. And once you get to the point where you have bulked up your savings account for emergencies, you can then repurpose that money to other places in terms of your financial goals. If you find that you have to spend this money, then you can replenish it by, again, building it back into your budget. So when it comes to emergency savings, don't be overwhelmed if you do not have any savings right now. Instead, focus on how you can start small and set an initial goal of $1,000, because $1,000 can help you cover the most basic emergencies like a flat tire, like a utility bill, etc. So as you step into the new year, it's really important to think about ways in which you can bulk up your emergency savings if you happen to be employed. If you are unemployed right now, it may be really difficult for you to save for emergencies if you have no income coming in. And a lot of people who maybe were not prepared, unfortunately, are having to leverage debt. And so one thing you want to keep in mind if you are leveraging debt in this season is that you can be mindful of how much debt you're taking on. You can budget how much you're spending on debt so that when you get back on your feet, you're able to create a plan of attack to pay off that debt as quickly as possible and start making your contributions to your emergency savings account. So like I said, start small. Don't be intimidated by the large amount, right? But instead focus on getting to that first $1,000 and then that next $1,000. And you'll be surprised how quickly you're able to make progress towards bulking up your emergency savings. So money move number 4 is to add to your retirement accounts. And so this means contributing to your 401k or to an IRA. For many people who have not gotten started, the new year is a great time to designate a percentage of your income to contributing to these accounts. Or if you have started, you can set yourself a goal to increase your investments, your savings by a percentage point every quarter until you get to the point you're able to max out. The reason why it's so important for you to contribute to retirement is because this is you creating a plan, a financial plan for your future self. This is you putting money aside for your future self to live out that ideal life that you want to have when it comes time to retire. And nobody is creating that plan for us. Nobody is putting that money aside for us as we get older, right? Not many people are going to have pensions. Social Security might not be able to provide for you. And so it's important that you are putting money aside for your future self. And by doing it now, you're able to take advantage of the power of time and compounding, which is really key when it comes to growing your investments. So if you are able to, this is a great time to increase your contributions or start contributing to your retirement accounts. Money move number 5, increase your income. So again, with the pandemic and with everything that we have seen happen in the last year, it is a smart move to create multiple streams of income and also increase your income. So how do you increase your income? Well, you can look for a better paying job. You can ask for a raise at work. I know that many companies are doing freezes on raises right now. However, you may be working at a company or in an industry that's actually thriving during this pandemic. You can look for a higher paying job, like I mentioned. You can try to find a part-time job. You can start a side hustle. You can look through your closet, your kitchen, your kids' things, and find things that you may no longer be using that you can sell to bring in some extra income. But when it comes to increasing your income and creating multiple streams of income, it's all about getting creative and getting outside of your comfort zone, right? So keep that in mind that you want to seek out opportunities to increase your income and create multiple streams of income. It's a great idea to do that. Money move number 6, check your credit. And so with the pandemic, fraud, identity theft has increased incredibly. And so you definitely want to make sure that you have your eye on your credit. And your credit is important, especially when you need to leverage debt for major purchases like a home. And so you want to make sure that you are aware of everything that's reported on your credit. And it's also a good idea to consider putting credit monitoring or a credit freeze on your credit. And I will link an article below on how credit freezes work, but basically they prevent any new credit accounts from being opened in your name because your credit profile is frozen and lenders cannot make inquiries. It does not affect any existing lines of credit that you have in place right now, but it prevents credit from being open in your name without your approval. And so money move number 6 is to check your credit score. And keep in mind that you are entitled to get a free credit report by federal law every year from annualcreditreport.com, and I will link that below as well. Money move number 7 is to automate your finances. And automation can make managing your money and achieving your financial goals so much easier. And this is because automation helps minimize the personal debates or the mental battles that you may be having with yourself when money hits your bank account. So many people have the intention to save or pay down debts each time they get paid, but when they see the money in their accounts, they find ways to spend it before they actually take the action to save or invest that money or put it towards paying down debts. And so when you automate your finances, you're basically designating certain things to take place when it comes to bills that need to be paid or savings that needs to be done before you get a chance to spend the money. And so automation works well if you have a consistent income. However, if you have an inconsistent income, it's still possible for you to automate your finances. And the way you can do this is that every time you know that you're expecting some money, right, you can set up transfers, automatic transfers, and automatic debits from your account on the date that you're expecting the money or on the day after you receive the money so that they go to those designated accounts before you get a chance to spend the money. And so when it comes to automation, it might be overwhelming to think about all the things that you could possibly automate. So you can start with 1 or 2 things, like an automation to savings or an automated bill payment, and then use that as the baseline to get comfortable with automation. And then as time progresses, you can add on other things. One thing to keep in mind when it comes to automation, though, is that you want to check in frequently to make sure that those transactions are happening as you expect. Money move number 8, double check life insurance. What are your life insurance needs? So life insurance is something that a lot of people don't really like to talk about because it can seem morbid. It's associated to death. However, if you have dependents that rely on your income, it's something that you really want to consider. And so I'm going to link some articles below to help guide you as to what the best kind of life insurance might be for you and how to make that decision when it comes to selecting life insurance. Money move number 9, create a budget as we step into the new year. And so a budget is basically you telling your money what to do. It's you being the boss of your finances. It is your blueprint. It is the plan as to how you're going to spend your money. And so having a budget is incredibly important. And I'm a huge fan of creating a budget in advance of every single month because no 2 months are exactly the same. Different things come up. You have different financial obligations, and you want to make sure that you are as prepared as possible as you step into each month. I know many people make budgets for quarters or for 6 months or for a year, and that's also fine, but it's really important that in advance of each month you come back and you check in on this budget so that you are aware of your plan. And very importantly, when you create your budget, you just don't want to set it and forget it. You don't want to create it at the beginning of the month and then wait until the very end of the month to check back. Make it a habit to check in on your budget frequently so that you can track your spending, you can see what expenses are coming through, and you can make sure that you're working through your plan. And finally, when it comes to budgeting, it is not about perfection. It's about giving yourself the opportunity to assess how you are doing and make changes based on what you learn. And finally, money move number 10 is to take care of yourself. And so as we step into a new year with all these big financial goals that we have for ourselves, goals for our career, goals for our business, for life, etc., we need energy and strength in order to accomplish these goals. If you do not feel well, if you are exhausted and perpetually tired, it's going to be difficult for you to accomplish those goals. And I'm saying this, but I'm also giving myself this advice because a lot of times I struggle with self-care, but it's really, really important that we prioritize our self-care so that we can get the energy and the strength that we need and build up the willpower that we need to go forward and achieve our goals. So as you step into the new year, a money move that you want to prioritize is taking care of yourself. And it's not directly tied to money per se, but you are the one that's going to allow yourself to be able to accomplish your goals. And so that makes it a money move. Taking care of yourself enables you to achieve all your money moves. And that's why self-care is on this list. So those are the 10 money moves I wanted to share. I'm curious to know what money moves you will be making, leave a comment below. Or if you have other moves you're making outside of the 10 I just listed, I would love to know in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, tell your girlfriends about it, subscribe to this channel, and please head on over to clevergirlfinance.com. We have new content on the blog every single day, and we have over 30 plus free courses and 40 plus worksheets. All these things are completely free to support you as you work on pursuing your financial goals. And what better time than stepping into a new year to set the intention and work on setting the plans and setting the stage for those goals. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I will talk to you next time.